topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart.
Hello, and welcome to It's Your Voice, the show that hosts enriching conversations in diversity. My name is Abughannam. I'm a diversity educator, and I'm delighted to share the platform with people from all kinds of backgrounds and talents and skills. I'll just mention I have a website if you're interested in looking at any courses I offer to teach various ways of diversity and cultivating patterns of inclusion and belonging. You can go to my website, which is knowwhatyouwantcoaching.wordpress.com. I also want to mention I am quite under the weather, so I have a wonderful guest host today. So I'm going to start with introducing the guest host, and then I get to introduce our very special guest who we've been waiting for a long time, a dear friend of the family. So let's get started, and then they will take over. So my guest host is Emily Hadley Yakzan Maciel. She just graduated from the University of Washington with a Bachelor's of Landscape Architecture. She's currently working for the Seattle Department of Transportation on a native forest restoration collaboration with the Muckleshoot tribe. She also just won 2 awards in architecture from the Architecture Foundation 2025 Olmsted Scholar and the 2025 ASLA Student Honor Award. Congratulations, Hadley. Amazing. Interesting. We have a similar last name. Have I seen you before?
Have we met?
I'm honored that you are my niece and super impressed by your super talent. Thank you for stepping in today. I know Sam is a dear friend to you and your family as well. So our special guest today is Sam Abughannam, who opened Sam's Mediterranean Cuisine in California in September 1995 with his family in a small university town here where students flock and there are lines, the tables are filled, the food is incredible good. Year-round families are there to get a taste of authentic Middle Eastern dishes. Delicious. You're gonna hear about the food for one thing, and also his secret ingredient in customer service. He makes you feel so at home. He makes everyone talk about creating an atmosphere of belonging. Everyone's included and belongs. So Sam has a bachelor's in, I think, or perhaps a higher degree in biology. I'm not sure where that reasoning is coming from. Oh, it's probably from, okay. Anyway, I just want to mention he has a bachelor's in biography, but he chose to do like one of the hardest jobs in the world, which is running a restaurant. So welcome, Sam. I know you're so loved by the community. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And one of your wonderful daughters is Reem. Thank you for being here, Reem.
How are you guys both doing? Fine?
Good. How are y'all?
Happy to connect.
Me too.
I'm gonna excuse myself so you guys can talk since you're well, and I'll come back on at the end.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Hi, y'all. So, I guess thanks for being here, and it's good to see y'all after so long. I guess just to start off, what was your journey to get to the U.S. and to California and Davis in particular, Sam?
As A matter of fact, I came here as a student, and I went to
Okay.
school in Maryland, Charles County Community College.
Oh, cool.
And I moved to North Carolina, and I went to Shaw University. But I worked in Virginia as a busboy, then a dishwasher, and become a head chef. You know, I was an assistant to the chef, then I became a head chef to a very, very uh, huge restaurant in DC and famous. It's called La Strada. Most of their customers were from the Defense Department, congressmen, senators, you know. And at the same time, I worked at Mama Aisha. It's a famous Middle Eastern restaurant. They from my my hometown. They're friends. We still talk, as a matter of fact, on daily basis. It's a famous. I think 4 or 5 presidents ate at that restaurant. President Clinton. I think Reagan. But 4 of them, as a matter of fact, I know so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah, if you could look at Mama Aisha, you could see their pictures.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I also worked in a restaurant in DC as well.
Is that right?
I didn't. Yeah.
My cousin was at Georgetown. It's called Dino's Restaurant. Georgetown in Washington, DC.
What was it called?
It's called Dino's Restaurant.
Dino's, yeah.
So we used to go back and forth, you know, me and him. You know, I work in Italian, American. Then he works at Dino's Restaurant, you know. It's a steakhouse. It's a famous steakhouse. I don't know if they both exist up to now, but the one I worked at was very, very famous. It has 250 banquets on each side, 500 in the middle.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Delicious food, Italian, Greek.
Wow. And did that kind of kick off your love for the restaurant business? And
exactly. Then I moved to California. I went to Chabot College in Hayward for 2 years. I got my AA degree, and then I transferred to Hayward University. Now it's called East Bay, and I got my BS in biology. Then I signed up for UCSF. I was trying to become a doctor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But somehow my friends talked me into cooking, you know.
They were like, it's too good. You can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a dream one time. The dream became true that I'm going to open a small business next to a university. I came to Davis somehow, stopped at the Nugget, you know, the Nugget on me. And there was a rack in newspapers. I took the newspaper and I said, oh my God, that's the place. I came to it. It was Hibachi on 3rd Street.
Right.
Then I put my eyes on that place because he has issues with the owner. I took over, and that's where I started my business. It was kabobs, but I had issues with the city. They wouldn't give no neon signs, you know. And Davis is very strict on that part of UC Davis, 3rd Street. You can't have no neon signs. It took me a while to get a sign.
Interesting.
Then from there, it was at the beginning. It was tough, very tough, you know, because I didn't have no sign. I didn't have no advertisement. It was
all word of mouth.
Painstaking, you know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 2-3 years, you know, I got my reputation. I had steady customers, and from then on, you know, students love me.
Yes.
I've been here for 25 years, and my students from day one still come back and see me, whether they are CEOs, doctors, lawyers, engineers. They always, when they come to Davis, the first place they come is Sam's.
Yeah. No, you're a beloved staple, and that's kind of like something that's amazing, especially in Davis, because Davis, there's so much restaurant turnover constantly, and you've been able to stay open. And I'm wondering, like, some of the other obstacles that you faced aside from that first, like, not having a sign and not being established. Did you have other obstacles?
It was tough. At the beginning, I started as a Greek. You know, I'm talking about Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Then I was staying till 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
chopping, vegetables and all that, because it's hard to make chicken cacciatore, veal scallopini, eggplant parmigiana, fettuccine alfredo, lasagna. It was tough. And you have so many dishes. So I tried to adjust. So I said, oh my God, this is maybe the first year I started doing that. And all of a sudden I moved to kebabs. And the kebabs, because the students are on a budget, prices keeps going up. So I have to cut down. And I moved to sandwiches and, rice and all that, shawarma over rice. And it's moving. It's really good. They love it.
So good.
It's shawarma on pita, over salad, falafel, hummus, all of that. But when I started the kebab, my goodness, my prices were $3.95, two skewers. It was cheap. I mean, I had a line, but I wasn't making money.
Oh my God.
I lost so much money. I'm trying to build a reputation for business.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I should exactly. But I did. At times I stayed till 1 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, my goodness, there's no money. It was
That's
tough.
the hardest part.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I lost. I had to take a loan from my house to pay for my loss, but to generate more customers. It was hard. It was hard. Then word of mouth set me up. You know what I'm talking about? One student to another, so that's how it works, from professors to, students to members from Davis community like you guys, Yeah. It's all love. You know what I'm talking about? Food is made out of love. If you have the love for cooking, that's it. It's going to be tasting good. And then presentation,
Yeah.
But the main thing in running a good business, successful business, is being part of the community.
Yeah.
And Davis has a great community,
It does, yeah.
And, so you have to build that relationship, engage with the community, engage with the students, listen to their concerns. They tell you so much personal stuff. You build that one and you try to acquaint yourself with them, and you become one of them. At the end, after 4 years, you know all their life, everything about that student or that person, because you keep communicating with them. And part of that is being humble and passionate and compassionate. You give time to the customers, even though you're running in the kitchen, but at the same time, you have to listen. Being humble. When students graduate from here, they come and ask me for an advice. I say, the best advice I can give you is stay humble the way you are. That tie and suit is not going to make you a better person. And that high heel and makeup and look, so that's not going to make you a better person than other person, Just stay who you are. That's what they listen. Honestly speaking, look at the Hassan Minhaj. He was my customer.
Oh my gosh.
Comedian, whenever he comes to California, that's his first stop here in Davis.
Oh my gosh.
They have doctors. I swear they come. When the first thing they come from the airport, they text me, say, Sam, I am on my way. I'm going to visit you. From the Bay Area, from all over.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. It's communicating with others,
Yeah. And food is such a great, it's like one of those cultural, like, it brings people together. Cook it, whether you're cooking with people or cooking for people. It's one of those things that like immediately links you, especially if you share the same food too.
Yeah, it's like you can present the food, right? You go to a restaurant. It looks so beautiful. There is no taste. So, and at the same time, my main goal always is I don't cut corners. You know what I'm talking about? I don't cut corners. It has to be the same or better.
Yeah.
And that's so you have to give them a good portion, because you don't expect that customers to come and eat. And when they finish, oh my God, I'm still hungry. So you can make sure that person who comes here, that customer is fed well. And when they go out, say, oh my God, they're going to come back. And that's what they do. I had customers, they come back twice. I swear to God, I had customers twice. Because they say, oh my God, Sam, we love your food.
Yeah, it's so good. And people love you. I'm curious what your first, like, do you remember like a first memory of food and cooking? Like one of your very first experiences with cooking?
It's so much. There's so much. You can go into details. My first one was makluba. It's a Middle Eastern food.
I love
You know
makluba.
what it is. And it's an upside down. It's made
Yeah.
out of chicken or beef or lamb with basmati rice. And then you have to have eggplant, carrots, and cauliflower. They come in rows. You have to cook them in high heat. Then, slow, let it rest, flip it. And you could watch Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. You will see how I do it.
Yeah. No, I've seen it done. One of my professors, she made makluba for us. She was from Iraq. So it may have been a slightly different recipe. I don't know how. Do you know how? Because you're obviously like there's always slight variations between like Lebanese food to Palestinian food to Syrian food and Egyptian food. It's like subtle, but they're all different.
They're all different. Believe me. Even back home, they're different. Some they add potatoes. Some they add garbanzo beans. To them. Some they add tomatoes. Like my kids, they like tomatoes on top of it, so it stays moist.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, look, there's some of your food.
But upside down is one of my favorites. Beside the grape leaf.
Oh yes, I love grape leaf.
Grape leaf with lamb chops in the middle is the best. It's a favorite.
Who taught you how to cook?
I am a great learner. When I was in DC, then I used to watch my mother,
Yeah.
how she cooks, I learned from her step by step. Then my sister is a great cook. She's in Georgia.
Oh, cool.
And from there I built my reputation as a good cook for Middle Eastern. I learned the best from the best, from the root.
Yeah.
My mother and my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at the same time, my experience in DC, I was the head chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an intense environment to learn.
Exactly. And high-ranking officials, at that place. Plus that Mama Aisha in Washington, D.C. is a famous restaurant,
Yeah.
Just Google it.
So there's really high standards too, I bet.
Yeah, it's up to date. They're my neighbors back home. As a matter of fact, he's asking me if I can go and work for him again.
You couldn't ever leave Davis. We wouldn't let you.
Yeah, about a month ago, I talked to him yesterday. He showed me the whole restaurant inside.
Wow.
He makes the grape leaves by himself and the zucchini and all the spices he uses for each one, whenever he cooks a dish for himself, he sends me chicken kebab and barbecue on charcoal, he works with his kids. So it's a beautiful family, beautiful food, very delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, and your family is so
different than the restaurant here. I am working for students because they own a budget. I cannot have makluba. I cannot have other dishes here because it's hard. It's very hard. Do
you ever do those more specialty dishes in other contexts or just for your family?
Well, I just for my family. Sometimes for guests. Sometimes I do catering for school. Sometimes when they ask me, I used to do it at the beginning, but I cut it down because it's too much work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of the university because you have to have high insurance and you have to deliver, So they order and they pick.
Yeah.
I have faculty members that from day one, every time they open school, they ask me to make food for them, especially biology department, ecology and all of that, and almost 25 years.
That's wild.
Chancellor came here. His wife comes here all the time. May and his wife, she comes all the time. He has a customer. Mary, she's provost.
Yeah.
Assistant chancellor.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Everybody there's not
She's
really
watching me on Instagram. She said the other day she came here. Ken Bertis was asking her, "Have you watched Sam on Facebook? He's dancing all the time." Oh, I watch him on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that's
Love
amazing.
Instagram.
Oh, do you know what your customer's favorite food is that you serve?
With all honesty, I have a customer who's stuck with chicken shawarma all the time. I have a customer who's stuck who's over rice all the time. If you go
Yep.
on Yelp, it tells you. Some customers go, "Oh my God, I can't." When I go to sleep, I dream about that dish, that rice or this. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and come. Some even wrote, they say, "Oh my God, I was dreaming that I'm going to go to Sam's, and the next day was Sunday." So everybody's
So
different.
beautiful.
That was, your fingers are different. Some people they like falafel vegetarians. Some people they like salads. Some they like falafel over salad. Some like falafel, but if you are falafel, they want falafel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If
Did you develop your menu just trying to like be budget friendly, or was it also because you really love the foods that you serve too? Like you have that distinct like salad that you always serve, and the like yogurt sauce and all of that's like obviously those are common delicious foods, but I'm
tzatziki dip, tzatziki sauce that you add on the sandwich because it comes with shawarma. Then you have to make the tahini sauce. You can spread on the top of the lettuce and the meat. It gives it flavor. So you put tzatziki sauce, then tahini and hummus. Sometimes people they like hummus. And they say add more hummus on this, or add on more tahini, more yogurt. So you have to be flexible. Customers,
totally.
Yeah, and
customers.
some people they like it spicy, extra spicy. I have a customer who says extra spicy.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had it spicy. What's a common like pepper that's used in your food?
Three kinds of peppers, and chili pepper, Then you add tomatoes and vinegar, garlic. It takes time to make it. It takes time. But
No, absolutely.
Remember, keep in mind, practice makes perfect.
Yes, it's true. It's
And
hard.
I always tell my customers, it's not nice to be important. It's more important to be nice.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I feel like you and Jiddu, I feel like had such a good connection because you both have so much wisdom, and you always have like the best advice to people. And I feel like I'm curious, like, is that part of how you've made so many close friends in Davis? Like, how did you go about that?
Let me tell you the truth. When I started my business, I had so much communication with the students. They became so close to me that some of them, they used to come to my house. And they don't want to leave. I swear to God, they don't want to leave. Some of them, they stayed at the house because my wife's so nice to them. She makes them food. She give them all the leftover. They ask for it. And when can we come back? Then I used to have parties every Sunday and Monday night. And my wife, she cooks for 30, 40 people,
Oh my gosh.
Before we go dancing and, in the house, we put the music and dance till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I have to leave the house at 7. They stay till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then my wife,
wild party.
Mondays and Sundays. I have videos I can show you.
That's amazing. Oh, I wish we had them.
And they come to me the next day, Sam, when are you going to have us over again? When are you going to have us over again? So, then at the same time, let me tell you what, the students at that time, they didn't have money sometimes. So I gave them a slack, I say, oh, don't worry. And Sam, they say anyway, I say, oh, just go. And they come back, they want to pay me. I say, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. It's from the heart. So that human dignity and human connection with those people kept that together, that bond. They kept me going on for so many years with those people. They never forget about me. They never forget about that love I gave them. that respect. You know what I'm talking about? I recognize their pain and their sorrow, you know. Then I kept telling him, you know, he who never sees sorrow will never see joy, you know. If it's okay, you're struggling now, but that's part of success. You know, life is a learning experience every day. So you have to change it. Some people, they come crying for me. Oh God, they have pennies. I swear to God. That and I said, oh my God, just it's okay. My daughter comes and says, what should I just say? Just tell him, go, take it. It's okay because he's my friend. So, you know, and they give you $1, it's $3, $4. I say, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, that love connection and that feeling for others and for humanity kept me going. And that's what keeps me going up to date, you know. But I'm a simple person. I'm simple, you know. And I keep that simplicity, you know. I spend time with them. I don't care how high you are and how low you are. I treat everybody with respect. You know, I don't say, oh, Emily is better person. I want to take time with her, spend more time with her. No, I treat everybody with respect, genuinely, you know, from the heart, you know. Not because I want to use that person or they use me, but out of respect and out of love.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out they brought up. I don't know who's bringing up these pictures, but there was a picture with Hassan Minhaj.
Yes, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and that's
Hassan Minhaj.
He's been there. He's been one of your.
Yeah, I have maybe
one of your long time customers.
Yeah. Every time he comes here, he takes pictures with me. We have videos, but it's on he even posted me on his page. He got I don't know how many thousands on his Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah. He posted me when he came here one time, and he said he told everybody to come to Sam's. You know.
That's good. He should. Everyone should go to Sam's. Oh yeah, there it is again.
Yeah, he has a wonderful family. His wife is so nice. He invited me to go to New York. He always was, you better come to visit me, Sam. Come and visit us in New York.
Oh,
very nice people. Very humble.
I'm curious. Well, actually, this is a question from my dad. He's curious about how you manage to run a family business, because that can be really challenging.
You know, honestly speaking, these days it's very tough.
Yeah.
The price is skyrocketing after COVID. Like you used to buy a box of meat at that time for $59, up to $65. Now it's $140. 20 pounds at that time for $59. Now it's $140. $126. It was $109, then $126, then $140. Prices skyrocketing so much. You used to get the yogurt for $45 for $27, you know, a gallon, 40 pounds, and now it's 75 sour cream. Yogurt used to get for 18, now it's 45. It's crazy. Look at the oil prices. So anytime oil prices go up. So, you know what I'm talking about? And after COVID, everything went up. And it's not. I feel sorry for everybody. I mean, sometimes when I see you go to the grocery store and I see people say, "My God, it's tough to be on a fixed income. It's very tough. I don't know how people can manage being on a fixed income because it's hard these days. Yeah. You know, you go to the grocery store, you buy a few things, it's $200, $300. You know, and when you come, you say, "What did I buy?" It's like nothing. It's like nothing.
Does it help? Does it help that you have your family involved in the business?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my wife, she was my backbone. She used to help me, you know, cook and all of that, and that was a huge loss. Loss. So that's why I took 2 years off. But at the same time, you know, you're gonna say, "Oh man, I need to go back. I need to go back and feed those customers who stood by me." And the community, honestly, in general, students, faculty members, everybody in David, including you guys, everybody stood with me and built me up, you know, make me stand on my feet again. I had a rough time with previous owner. He sold the building and I had to hire a lawyer. it was very tough. And then my wife's loss was tough, dealing with doctors who falsify information. You give me, I'm talking about misinformation. They give you misinformation. It's very tough. You feel the pain every day. Every day, it doesn't go away. If someone tells you, you have to move on, but it's still there, because when you get the wrong information, they'll tell you one thing and they write something else, and all of a sudden they tell you, 3 days, it's hard. They tell you 100%. And all of a sudden, you have 3 days to live. That's the toughest. It will never go away from your head. People, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to deal with the loss, especially when you lived it. Especially when you lived it based on 100% guarantee. And all of a sudden, less than 24 hours come, and you find out they knew 1 month earlier when I was telling him all the way through that month, something is wrong. So it hurts you.
Yeah. What did she use? What was her
Leukemia.
involvement in the restaurant?
She is the fastest cook, I swear to God.
Really?
It's one of the fastest you can ever. If I say a grape leaves, we need the grape leaves today. You turn around, you go to the grocery store, come back, it's done.
Oh my gosh!
How did you do it?
That's incredible. Was she like super fast at chopping and
everything?
Wow.
She can cook more than one meal. Even my guests, when I have on Thanksgiving, or around the Christmas, or when I have a birthday party. One time she made a birthday party for me, and I didn't even know. I didn't know. I go to the house thinking, normal. It was Saturday, and I parked my car with my kids. Came down, no cars. I don't see any cars, in the parking lot. And she surprised me, invited over 45 to 50 people, over families. I opened the door, balloons and cake and music and
Oh my God.
She made a plan that she told everybody to park their cars far away from the house. And that was such a surprise I ever had from her, which is
that is so sweet.
Yeah, it was amazing.
She sounds so special.
She was.
She sounds like a very special person.
I say, I need this. I'm not gonna make it today. I'm tired, But when I go home, it's there. She makes a surprise, So I said, I base my emphasis. Oh my God, it's not done. What should I eat before I go home? Then when I go home, oh my God, the food is there. The table.
Do your daughters? You have daughters that are also working in the kitchen with you, right?
Yeah, they help me. Yeah, on and off. Yeah, they're very good. Yeah, they cook. Very good. Yeah.
Do any of them possess this rapid cooking ability?
Yes, they do. They cook really good. Even the youngest, the one who works behind the cash, she is honestly, she cooks tacos and burritos. Oh my God! All my kids and my guests, when they try her food, I don't know. She doesn't show me her spices.
It's a secret. It's a secret from you.
Huh?
Oh no! It's a secret from you.
It has to be. But what I'm saying is the way she cooks it is amazing. One day, I'll tell her to make you some food. She is so good, unbelievable. The food she makes, like tacos, she makes burritos, and she makes like I don't know if you know kalaya. Beef steak with tomato sauce and all the fresh tomatoes, and onions and garlic. Unbelievable, very, very delicious. So she must have learned from the best, her mother, not me.
Yeah. She's lucky. She got genes on both sides. She got the genes on both sides.
Most likely from her mother, not from me. I give her mother credit.
That's sweet. Are there I want to give people an idea of other things that are on your menu aside from just the shawarma, the falafel. What other things do you offer?
Well, to tell you the truth, I surprise my customers sometimes, making baklava, dessert. I make them kunafa, which is my favorite dessert. And warbat, I don't know if you know warbat, the triangle shape. It's made with cheese. It's very delicious. If you go on, if you go on TikTok, you see it comes in triangle shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like then it becomes a square. If you go on Instagram, I posted the other day. They loved it. I surprise the customers. They come in, they buy, then I go outside, I give them baklava. The one I make, it's like special. I make it. Then I give them kunafa. I say, oh my God, my wife, she loves it, Sam. Do you have any more? The next time they come here, I make those dates. The one your grandpa loves those dates. Dates, ma'moul. Very, very delicious. People, I sent the other day, Maria. Mary? The provost. Chancellor. She asked me about 3 weeks ago when she came here with Ken. And she said, Sam, I love those when she was invited to a place, to a Arabic place. I think she's from Egypt. She says, what kind of those? They taste so delicious. So the other day I made her some and I sent it with a new researcher. He came with Ken. He's a researcher in Davis and he was going to see her. I said, just give her a serpatella that's from Sam.
Yum. Yeah, do you think that's your specialty dessert? With that?
Yeah, that's special. That's only I make it special because it's made out of cheese, I don't like, otherwise you have to freeze it.
You have to what?
Kunafa, you have to freeze it and what about? But you don't need to. And ma'moul.
Yeah. I'm curious, out of all of the amazing adventures that you've been on in your life, what are you most proud of?
Oh my goodness, making that connection with so many great people, whether it's from the community, students, professors, these wonderful people, I don't know, it's that kindness that you get from those people, whenever they come back, if they don't see me in the kitchen, they look for me, they come back in the other room, and they like to spend time with me, talking to me in the back room, That's a plus, that's a gift from God. That's a gift. That's a bonus that you can get, and it's a human connection, humanity. You have to keep that humanity and give that. It's like recognize the humanity of others. The humanity of others. That's how I do it. I treat everybody as me. It's like my family, my extended family. You know what I mean? It's like you guys.
Yeah, I know. We've had.
It's like that's Kamal, Kamal.
I know.
Whenever he used to come here, he said, "What do you have for me today?" Hey Sam, I'm going to see to the chancellor today. What kind of dessert do you have for me? I want to take it for him and tell him this is from Sam.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've had so many family events at your space, and you've always made it so memorable for us. Like my brother's 21st birthday, I think it was, and you just brought out the most beautiful feast. Like foods I hadn't had before either. They were so like there's obviously an extra special ingredient in there.
Yeah. If you go on Facebook also or TikTok or Instagram, there is a lady. Her name is Karen. Karen Eiler. She was the chief secretary for the medicine department at UC Davis for 30 years. She retired. Her husband is a doctor. She invites every time a dean has a birthday, or a family member have a birthday, or a researcher have a birthday. She has so much connection, so many people. If you go on TikTok, on my Facebook, you see her. I have videos on her because at least 2-3 times a year she brings, but she comes, she's a regular customer. But she every time she has a birthday, she texts me, Sam, I'm bringing this. 10, 12 people, 8 people, 10 people, and we have a birthday for them. So I have to make a special food. See, that's when I go off my menu.
Yeah.
Special for those people. I don't do it for everybody because it's hard. But For the people
Totally.
I know that they stood by me all the time, they stay by me. I treat everybody with respect, the same, everybody. But
Yeah.
those people, when I commit myself, I can't say no. It's hard for me to say no.
I know. You've been so sweet to us. I'm curious what some of those like special extra dishes are that you usually make. I remember there was one that had
Steak,
like peppers.
steak with vegetables.
Yeah.
I made a steak with vegetables. I chicken with
Mhm.
vegetables.
Oh, so good.
I make a kufta, ground beef
Oh,
with
yes.
skewers. I do sometimes kebab, on skewers. Outside. I bring the barbecue here, and I do it for some guests. Sometimes when I do makluba. I did it for. As a matter of fact, I did it for a famous. He is a famous doctor. He teaches residents, and he's
Mm.
still my customer since day one. He teaches residents, doctors, and
Mhm.
he's in charge of the what do you call that pediatric department at UC Davis.
Mm.
Every time he has a company or doctors from overseas, I have to make his food. The food for them.
Oh.
I made them makluba one time for him and Stephen Putin Jones. He's a lawyer number 1 in Northern California. And when I made
Mm.
it for them, I think I have almost 18,000 on Instagram. People went to saw that one.
Oh
18,000.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
on Instagram. Yeah.
That's incredible.
And what he did, I'm just gonna give you an example. Poor guy, he had doctors invited over, and he made makluba.
Mhm.
He tried to make it. He made
Uh-huh.
it like a cake, but it's burned. It's burned. When you come here, I'm gonna show you. So he flipped it. He sent it to me. He said, "Look what happened to my makluba. It's like a cake, but it's burned."
Save me.
And you know what I did that day? I swear to
What?
God, I didn't tell him. He said he has guests tonight. I made the makluba.
Oh my
When I
gosh.
made it, I drove to Dixon. I said, Dr. Wick, I am in Dixon. Can you meet me from your house at
Oh
the
my
restaurant? He said, why? He said, I made you makluba because I feel bad. You have
You're
guests.
saving lives even though you didn't go into the medical field.
Yeah, I swear to God, I made him the food because he has
Oh
doctors
my
there.
gosh.
And he was so happy, him and his wife. Oh my goodness. You don't know how much joy I put in his face and his wife to make him look so
Mm,
very good.
you
When
saved
I
them.
saw that makluba, I say, oh my God, I feel bad. It's not,
One
and I had all
delivery.
the ingredients, so it took me 2 hours. So between that time and the time he had the guest, I made it and I surprised him. I didn't tell him even.
That's incredible. Um, you know how you have those and you've had these beautiful murals in your other location.
Oh yes, I can.
Who did those murals in
Yeah,
your restaurant?
that's a long story. Somebody came and wrote
Mm.
about it in Davis here, even the newspaper, and at the museum down on Covell, I think, Street. What happened is I knew students, okay, who were going into art, studying art at Davis University, right? I knew a few of them, and
Mhm.
I mentioned that I need to draw some Mediterranean design in the restaurant, especially the Al Aqsa, which you see in my background here in the background.
Mhm.
So he said, "Oh, I can do it for you." Then I asked him how much. He said, "Oh, Sam, just not much. Just feed me." Feed me. Honestly speaking, you know how many people? 10 students joined him when he was drawing, and I used to stay till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, playing the music and
Wow.
drawing. One from
Wow.
Japan, one from Japan, 3 from Mexico City, and 2 from America, from US here, 2 from Brazil. And all of them made that connection every day. They come and draw because that one is a tough one. Each one took a part. And one lady came from Brazil. Her daughter was helping me here at the restaurant. She came from Brazil. She is a good artist, but she is a doctor. And she drew all the trees on the wall. Unfortunately,
Wow.
all is gone when I moved from that business here.
I know.
But
I
here,
know.
my son drew everything here.
Wow.
He did it by himself.
He is so talented.
Yeah, he did it by himself. How did he
Incredible.
do it? I don't know. I was working in the next building. Then he say, I'm going to go and do something. I come back and say, oh my goodness, how did you do that?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to copy that one because that one is gone. And the customers told me, Sam, before you move, please try to do the same. Because they used to call it a hole in the wall, you know, the other building was so small.
Yeah,
They
totally.
loved it. And I did that. When my son did it, he did a good job. I
Wow.
guess
He did. I was worried that it wouldn't have that same character once we knew you were moving. But it's so beautiful now, and you have the beautiful sign.
Even the first one who did the first, the one in the old building,
Yeah.
and another lady, they always communicated with me at that time if I needed help. Honestly, they're so nice. They always say, Sam, can we come in? But my son said, oh, I want to finish it. I want to do it. I want to learn. So he did it. But he did, I mean, they did a great job. They did for food, few money, and guess what? Friendship. Food. The main thing is food. They want food. They're to the house. And my wife, she has a peaceful. They don't want to leave.
You have. Well, thank you so much, Sam. I'm gonna bring Bahia back on, but you have so much to be proud of, and we're so grateful for your presence in our community.
I'm so proud to know you and meet you and be part of my extended family.
I know you all are totally.
Kamal, you know, he's in my heart always. He loves
I know.
me. Every time he used to come, he says, Sam, what joke do you have? I said, those are nice jokes. We love them. Good to see you. Wish you well.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Sam, thank you so much. And your restaurant is like a home. People feel so welcome and so loved, and you represent your people so beautifully well, and you're so genuine, authentic, and you go the extra mile for everybody. At first, it's just
like
I don't know.
I always say it will be more. It will be most effective, like if you become your best self. You know what I mean? Your best self is that's when you have that human dignity for people. You know. My advice to everybody, like you say in your communication, you know, and community engagement, awareness globally, you know, we need to love each other. We need to have peace, you know, help each other, share the resources, you know, spread that love, spread that connection. Don't be yourself only. Try to help others. Keep that bond together. That's what's going on these days. No social life. Before we used to have a social life. Now with the technology is great, but we abuse it. We abuse it, and we don't keep that family together. You know, that family connection. If you lose that family connection, then we lost. You know, family values is number one. You know, I love each other as much as I love you too.
You model that, and your entire family is so sweet. Every family member when we step in there is so welcoming, and it's so heartfelt.
I'm gonna invite you one day to my house, you guys, and make you a nice barbecue.
Oh, we want to invite you to our house, so for once you could be served.
Yeah, but my first, you know, try my home cooking.
Wow, and thank you again for your advice to the world. And I love what earlier you said you tell people stay humble and stay who you are.
Number one, humble, passionate. That tie and suit is not gonna make you a better person, believe me.
Yeah.
Money and wealth today in your hand, tomorrow in somebody's hand. But that love and connect, trust, build that trust. If you lose trust, you lose everything. Trust is number one.
Your wisdom is profound.
Yeah, you know, you lose that trust, it's all over. You know, it's like your brother, they promise you to do something, or he didn't keep that promise, or he did something, and they say, "Oh my God, that's it. That trust is gone." So you have to keep that trust there. You know, if I tell you I'm going to be there at 4, I have to be there at 4. Or otherwise, I have to come up with an excuse. But
We
don't
know
say
you will be.
I will disappear.
Well, thank you again so much. And thank Reem and your whole family. And thank you, Emily Hadley, Yaksan Maciel, for co-hosting or actually hosting the show. Thank you to our engineer Rebel and to our producer Dean, and to all the listeners and viewers and the questions that came in. And may we all have enriching conversations in diversity this week and absorb Sam's incredible advice of love.
You need
Thank
anything, please, I'm here for you. We love you. Bye-bye.
We love you too.
Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech.